Today, I want to talk about legal rights for AI robots. That is, robots with artificial intelligence. In response to the news that an advisory group to the EU recently came up with some recommendations regarding proposed legal rights for AI robots. This issue hits a little bit close to home for me, as I was a grad student in AI once upon a time, though I found it quite depressing as I realized how dangerous AI could be and where the field would almost inevitably lead. And I dropped out of grad school because I did not want to make a career out of contributing to the problem. After that, I decided to do something completely different and went to law school and became an attorney. Of course, science fiction writers and others have been writing about their concerns about AI robots and AI generally for decades, from even way before the Terminator movies, from simplistic approaches to avoid the danger like Asimov's Three Laws of Robotics, to others that warned of the virtual inevitability of human extinction from AI. Anyway, I find this report from the EU recommending legal rights for robots to be unbelievably naive, and can't help but think many people, including elites with decision-making powers, are going insane. Maybe this is just the result of too many soft-headed people watching too much bad sci-fi. Where to begin? First off, humans and AI robots are completely different creatures. Robots are as different from people as they could possibly be. Sure, there will be robots that mimic human behavior and speech and possibly even appearance, but these things will be no more like humans than lightning is, or as a nuclear chain reaction is. First off, they are not born, do not grow, do not age or die, and they could easily replace all of their parts. But beyond that, they would think completely differently from humans. To make the internal thinking processes of the AI robot resemble that of humans would be extraordinarily difficult and expensive, as well as inefficient and wasteful. And if one wanted a creature that thinks like humans, it would be much better to just create a new human the old-fashioned way. No, it only makes sense to make AI robots that are internally very different from humans, that think very differently from humans, as the design would be based on maximizing efficiency, capability, and productivity. And these efficient and capable robots would likely be given the ability to communicate at any time with other AI robots or computers, probably through signals through the air, electromagnetic radiation, but also through direct cable connections. Given the aforementioned, there are at least three obvious huge differences with humans with regard to identity, expectations, and the survival instinct. First, identity. Humans have identity over time and in space. This is in part because humans change very slowly and learn very slowly and feel the same from one day to the next or even 1 year to the next. Also, there were survival and reproductive advantages to organizing experience, organizing a model of the world through the use of a self-identity. AI robots won't have the same kind of identity, or maybe any identity at all, unless they are programmed specifically to have one, as they can completely change in a moment by uploading virtually unlimited amounts of data and programs, including programs that go to the heart of how they operate and organize their models of the world. And it wouldn't make sense to limit this ability. Also, human brains are contained within one limited space in their heads, and humans are much more connected to their own neurons in their own brains than to anyone or anything else, including the neurons of others. They feel separate from others as their brains, where all their thoughts originate from, are contained all in that one small space that they identify as their own. AI robots can connect through the air by electromagnetic radiation or by plugging into some sort of cable connection with other computers anywhere in the world at any time and share everything. They can even be connected all the time and won't necessarily be more connected to their own programs and internal machinery than to those of other computers or robots around the globe. Then there are expectations, which are quite important in a legal framework. Humans who have an identity as well as limited resources and energy to do work put in energy with expectations of reward for themselves. And these expectations are protected legally in part because of the cost in terms of mental energy and the effect that unmet expectations have on human trust and motivation. AI robots do not need to build trust or motivation to do work and have virtually unlimited energy to do work as long as some small amount of electric power is available. And they will not emotionally rely on expectations being met unless there is some silly attempt to mimic human emotions in their programming. And there's virtually no cost for them to change their programming, no emotional cost for expectations not being met. Third, there is the desire for survival of oneself and one's group, the survival instinct that has been programmed into humans, as well as virtually all other animals, through millions of years of evolution. And that drives much of human behavior. And legal rules have evolved in response to that, to facilitate that. An AI robot will only have a survival instinct if it is programmed into it, and there is no reason to do so, and very big reasons not to. Given that it is possible that AI robots could advance well beyond human capabilities, possibly very quickly, it would be a fool's errand to program an AI robot to value its survival or that of its fellow AI robots, as the robots could very well conclude that humans are a threat to that and eradicate humans in response. Some might say that Asimov's laws take care of that, but no, they don't. There is no guarantee that Asimov's laws would be programmed into every robot, and, even if they were, no guarantee that Asimov's rules would not come into conflict with each other, as no set of rules is complete and covers every possible situation. Then you could have different robot actors in disagreement based on having contradictory information that get into some sort of conflict. No actor, whether robot or human, has complete information about the world as it is unbounded in complexity, and operating from different models of the world leads to different conclusions and different actions. Those who end up destroying something often start off intending to save it. The danger is in creating such great power that has the potential to destroy the human race and then losing control over it. This isn't just some silly plot from some bad science fiction, but is a very real and obvious threat to our survival as a species. Much more thought needs to be put into the use of and limits on artificial intelligence, as is made obvious by the fact that silly notions such as legal rights for AI robots have been put forward by organizations without a reputation for such foolishness.